Hey, thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And I am business entrepreneur Breezy Gipson.
And we're glad that you're rocking with us once again. We got another dope show lined up for you. Of course, it's Women's History Month, so we're going to be highlighting our chats with some of the incredible women that we've had on the show so far. And this particular week, we're going to be highlighting my sisters in beats. So we'll be highlighting our chats with Mom on the beats and Kershawn the Don as well. And I'm just kind of excited about this. And of course, we'll have a hot music industry news for you. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, things to be aware of and pay attention to. And we're bringing it to you right here.
That's right. You got that double play going. So that's going to be really, really strong. Two women of beatdom. So let's make this happen.
All right, let's go. right. Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Y'all, I'm so excited because we have returning to us Mom on the beats, MOM on the beats, maker of music on the beats. How you feeling?
Good. How are you this morning?
Good. So yeah, we're very, very happy to have you back. Just in case somebody's kind of tuning in for the first time and they haven't heard anything about you, could you please give us, a little bit of background, who you are, what you do, and when you discovered that you needed music to be a part of your life?
So as was mentioned, my name is, I go by Mom on the Beats. It's a newly adopted moniker. I actually started producing about 12 years ago and walked away from it when I was producing the first time around. My name is EQ, but I'm more mature now, and life experiences and personal experience and everything has kind of let me kind of take a step back to reevaluate, who I want to be or who I want to present myself as to the world. And so Mom is it because I am a mom. I have an 8-year-old daughter. But then I'm also a lot older than most of the folks that I'm competing against in the music industry. So I figure I'd be mom on all accounts because of that. But yes, so I discovered at the age of 31 was the first time that I made my first beat. And from that point on, it was something that was awakened. I'd always played instruments and stuff in school, but once I got the opportunity to actually kind of compile all those different instruments and make an actual song, I was hooked. And I stepped away, but it was more so, I had some lackluster experiences throughout my, I won't say career, but, throughout the process of trying to become a producer. And then, personal things happened. I had a baby and all these other things that came into play and kind of, made me take a step back. And so I stepped away for about 12 years, but I've been back since 2019, to the end of 2019. So I'm going on 2 years back into it now. So.
Isn't that something how, you can set something aside for a little bit, but when it's in you, you just can't stay away. Like it just keeps calling you back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's something that, I've improved technically and I've picked up some different DAWs and I'm also using an MPC and stuff like that. So it's like I'm being a student all over again. And so it's reignited this excitement in me. So, being a student and then being able to produce and actually be able to produce at a better level than ever before has been just awesome for me. And then, getting it to connect and work with new artists that wouldn't have been around, the first time around, or the artist pool has exploded. And then also the level of talent has just exploded. And so it's an exciting time, I think, to be a producer.
Absolutely. And okay, I know Breezy's just itching to ask you something, but you mentioned that you picked up a lot of DAWs. I have to ask, what's your favorite right now?
Really the MPC is so I got my MP July of last year, and up until now I've been using it pretty much just standalone, and I wasn't using it as my primary DAW. My primary DAW in the beginning was Pro Tools, but it started to sound dated. I felt I needed to upgrade and everything. So I got a whole new setup. My husband allowed me to get one of the rooms in my house to be my own studio. So I was able to get a whole new, so I have a new computer, everything using Studio One. But since MP did their recent 2.10 update, where they give you synth sounds and keys and some of the sounds that were never available before, it's been awesome. So right now my primary is definitely the MPC one using the MPC software.
Awesome.
I'm able to knock out some good stuff in a really short period of time. So I love it.
Okay, that's what's up. I know all the gearheads out there are probably smiling right now.
Yeah.
Having the conversation. All right, Breeze.
So, with your extensive background, see, right now, you're the one who's really chock full of vibes. Okay,
I appreciate it.
because you can be ambidextrous because you go with the new, go with the not so new, go with the power that worked back in the day, and blend all of that in, just as you're saying, for the moment of what you're in with who you're working with. And so, and everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that. So that's a distinct advantage that you have. And, I'm also putting that out there like that because some folks are really kind of, they're unidirectional. Okay, they don't have anything what they've got. Whereas you're multi-directional and can really come from so many dimensions just by your experience, especially when I'm trying to think of that word. It's like it aged like the wine. Okay, so when you were away, those dimensions were aging and mellowing. That's the word I'm looking for. So now that all of that has mellowed, and so you're a powerhouse.
I appreciate it. I really do. I just kind of make what I feel. And, with this whole new sound that's out there, and there's been several iterations of different sounds since, I put it down the first time. And so I'm kind of like swimming in this pool of uncertainty, like, do I stick to what I know? Do I venture over into doing the things that everyone else is doing now? Do I just kind of do my own thing and do all of that? And that's kind of where I settled. I just came to the conclusion that music is music, and like I want to touch everybody. So yeah, I took that mellowed out approach that has come with age, but I still occasionally, do something that's big and loud and heavy and everything. But yeah, the sound is actually an expression of my confusion with what's going on in the world with music right now and finding where I belong. That's really where my sound comes from. Experimentation. I try all kinds of stuff.
So you're not saying that sometimes you actually act up, or are you saying that?
I do sometimes, but it's when I was a younger person doing this, everything was, and I kind of got my little notoriety from being in beat battles and stuff. So of course the beat battle arena is like a boxing arena, and so when you're getting ready to box, you're getting ready to just your point is to beat your opponent. And so some people do that in a big and loud way. And when I was a younger person, I was a bigger and louder person. But life now and age, probably more so age, because when I get up, my knees crack, has kind of helped me to mellow, not even mellow out, but more finesse that sound. So still be able to give big emotion and big feeling, but in a more finesse, more confined way. Because it's like if your message is loud, but all it is loud, it kind of just goes out into the world. But if you kind of box it and keep it still a big message, I think it's received in a better way. And again, that's coming from, kind of watching and paying attention and seeing how things are done now compared to how they were done in the past. Everything is a lot more mellow. Even the so-called, hyper beats with all of the 808s and all of that kind of stuff, it's still real chill. Everything is very, very, very chill in music right now. And so it's kind of hard to act up when you gotta act up but still be chill.
Yeah, you let that act up come out every once in a while, okay?
Yeah, so, but it's fun. I mean, I'm really enjoying just actually throwing my hat in the ring and being taken seriously again, because, when I first started doing this, the platform was MySpace. And MySpace is much different than the IGs or the TikToks and stuff. Like, you actually have to show yourself and present yourself to really stand out now. Before, you could just put your music up and but you really have to like present your whole package in order for people to pay attention to you. And I guess some folks are paying attention to me because they so.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I'm excited, thrilled, and delighted to announce that we have the one, the only Kershaw, the Don, in the virtual building with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I can't complain.
Awesome.
Just excited about the things to come.
Yeah. So if you could, give us the breakdown a little bit, like who is Kershaw? Give us some history of when you decided that you needed music to be a part of your life.
Well, it all started. It all started at my high school, at Poly High School in Long Beach. And I was just, back then I was just a poet, and I would be on the outskirts of the battle ciphers at lunchtime. So I would just be on the outskirts listening. At that point, I didn't know that I rap. I just wrote poetry. So fast forwarding to like 2012, I just started rapping and going to different open mics, and I knew I wanted to produce, but I didn't know how to go about it. So, I bought a MIDI controller, and it had Fruity Loops. And I was just like, started messing with Fruity Loops. And then from there, it kind of grew over the years. Last year, I dropped my first project, my first beat tape, actually. It's called Late Bloomer. Okay. And I named it Late Bloomer because I realized a lot of different things in my life late, so as far as making beats and music, it came to me pretty later in life. I didn't really embrace it until about 2012. I didn't really embrace it fully. So, so that's me. I rap, and I used to sing. I could hold a little tune, but I used to sing, and I have a couple of videos online, of me doing that. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to dig into the archives and see what I can find. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I know I see Breezy over there. You look like you holding back a question.
Well, actually, I have this vision of you. You say that you were attending the different events, and you were standing over on the side, and you were kind of, you just kind of checking things out and see, if the water was okay for you to put your toe in there and everything.
Yeah.
But see, your brain was ticking at that time, and you knew that there was a way in, that you were about to be encompassed with all this and sharing your talents. So I can see you over there just kind of peeping, looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect visual.
The guys that I would be peeping at, they're really heavily in the music community too. So it never stopped for them,
Nice. So yeah, I thought it was interesting that you said that you realized you were a rapper. Can you break that down like a little bit for us? Like a lot of people, they might try to fight something, but it was like, I kind of came to myself.
Me rapping came really, really randomly. I was just sitting down writing a poem about me and my sisters, and the beat was playing. A Tribe Called Quest, We Got the Jazz beat was playing, and I was just, writing the beat, writing the poem, and then all of a sudden I just started rhyming like, oh, okay, where is this going? I'm not gonna stop.
Wow.
And so I kept writing and and then I was like, yo, you want to hear this? To my friend who does beats, and he was like, yo, this is dope. Nobody doing this in Long Beach, and that's how I kind of started writing raps, just writing poems.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, okay, a lot of times you might find rappers who try to produce or producers who try to rap, but with you having a skill at both, it's obviously that you're connected to the music, so that actual combo is so rare. How do you kind of get into the mode to be able to do both? Or, your creative process.
My creative it's really random. It could be random. I could hear a sample at first. Well, I usually, when I go sit down and do beats, I would start with the drums. If I don't have a sample, I would start with the drums and make something from scratch, and it's like, it's still very kind of new to me making beats, because I started messing around and in 2012 made random beats here and there. And then years later, I just kind of compiled my randomness into a project. So it's really random. Right now I'm working on this came about years ago too. So I'm working on a project called Bridge the Gap, which is basically a project I plan on taking the female MCs from the 90s, taking their beats and rhyming over the beats. I have a video on YouTube with one of the songs. I paid this producer to do the beats for me, and it didn't work out. He didn't do the beats, so it was just like, let me just put that to the side and work on a beat, but I'm just decided to do it like mixtape style,
That's what's up. That's so exciting. I'm excited. How about
Nobody's done that yet. That's why I'm trying to be most organic and original as possible. It's really kind of sad to see when different female beat makers and MCs try to do the same thing, try to fit into a mold that will eventually, it won't be that anymore. We're always progressing, always evolving,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Well, for you to mention those two key words, organic and original, now, that's very strong right there. You don't hear that a lot, being discussed by artists. So, that's a real door opener for you. And so you stuck your foot in there, got your toe in there, and you're busting the door wide open with that. So that's a great thing.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm really excited about things to come. I really, really want to meet with more female producers, because right now I'm the only one female and Black producer in Long Beach. I haven't come across anybody else in my city doing it without doing what I'm doing,
Wow. Yeah. It's something that I feel like it's been getting more and more exposure, yet people aren't really kind of like looking at it. And so, I randomly still get the, hey bro, love your beats, nice work. Like, my profile picture is right there. My name is Achickwitbeatz. Like, why are you still calling me bro? But I think the more that we do stuff like this, and just kind of show people, then, maybe that'll inspire, more women to kind of get into it. Because I mean, we got the skills, we can hang with the bros, and then a lot of times you do beat sets, they try to stick you with the other women, and it's like, well, it's just unnecessarily gendered, but I
don't think that's a bad thing though, like, because I have a vision of doing a project with all female beat makers, all female MCs and singers, just breaking the mold, and like hey, we here, we representing, we doing it,
No, I think it's different when it's to bring awareness, or like that togetherness coming from us. It's just more so when, maybe it's a male sponsored event, like, okay, we're going to do a beat battle. I'm going to put the girls against the girls. And like, well, nobody ever does that with any other occupations. Could you imagine like telling your doctor or your dentist, like, man, you are the best male dentist I've ever heard. Like, it's just a weird thing, but But I hope that you can inspire some of the women in Long Beach to kind of, step into the arena.
I've been looking for them, because, It's not big of a city, but it's the community. The music community is really tight knit and small. So that's why I say I'm the only Black female producer in Long Beach. But if there's another one, I'm searching for. And like, if I do find somebody in Long Beach that produces, I can guarantee you that they won't be Black. You know. So it's just that.
Yeah. Like I say, hopefully, we can keep doing the stuff that we're doing to kind of raise awareness to the fact that we're here. We got the heat. All right, we're back with music industry news. First off, Cobalt just raised $550 million in debt to buy music catalog rights. So, it seems like we have so many stories about this so frequently. But, they were kind of sitting quiet for a minute, but now they're ready to roll. So they, are planning on using the funds to build out their own catalog of music rights. And they're going to continue to buy heritage copyrights. since, this is what they're calling the music catalog gold rush. But yeah, the heritage copyrights. So once again, that's that stuff that's tried and true. The classics, things that just kind of stick with you for a while. And so that's where they're planning on spending that $550 million.
Well, there's a lot going on on the globe. So, hey, if they want to go ahead. But, there's some people who kind of holding off right now. They got a side eye going, keeping an eye on stuff that's going on. So, hey, but if you got it and want to spend it, go right ahead. I got love for you.
Yeah, that's a very good point because, with all these different things coming up, especially with the Spotify exodus, if you will, that's when people started kind of looking at this a little bit more closely. Like, okay, well, if you buy up these catalog rights and then all of a sudden their artist wants to pull their music from certain streaming sites or whatever, exactly how is that going to affect the revenue that they were counting on getting? So yeah, I mean, there's always, pros and cons to just about everything. So yeah, very, very good point.
Yeah, and from my side, Spotify just inked a deal, which you may be speaking about with an athlete yesterday, an athletic team yesterday, $306 million, and I'm wondering, like, okay, now you got an issue going on the left side or the right side, and you got, you're spending the money on the other side. I'm like, hey, what's up? 306 million. I mean, come on now.
See, we were just talking about that a few weeks ago on the show. But yeah, it's just, how can you say that you can't pay even a penny per stream, but you're finding money for that? So that was another reason why people were upset, of course, even with the whole Joe Rogan thing, regardless of what's going on his podcast, it's the amount of money that they shelled out to be able to get his podcast. So, obviously the money's there. They're constantly hitting their street bets. So they're making the money, but they're just not passing it along to the people who help them earn it.
Yeah, and there's some other folks that I won't say the name, they're creating their own, and so that could be a trendsetter. You never know what pops out in the next 5, 6, 7 months with that. Others might follow that trail, and next thing you know, there's some competition going in there. So you never know.
Yeah. All right. TikTok has launched their own music distribution platform called Sound On. And this is a very astute move on their part because they're just making so many people recognize, once their stuff goes viral and it starts trending. So they've been breaking people into the music industry. So it makes sense for them to be able to have a distribution platform as well. So right now it's live in the UK, the United States, Brazil, Indonesia. And so artists can upload their music directly to TikTok and Reso. And so it can distribute their music to Spotify, Apple, Instagram, wherever you want it. So, definitely something to take advantage of if you're interested in it, if you're looking for, more distribution. Everybody kind of has their favorites, but hey, there's a new opportunity here.
Yep. Opportunities arise each and every day. So, hey, get yours, make yours, create yours, jump in there. And, others are doing it. So, do your research. Hey, you can do it. We can do it. Anybody can do it.
Right. Yep, for sure. Right. All right.
That old saying, nothing beats a failure but a try. So try.
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
so
try.
True. All right. LimeWire is coming back as a music NFT marketplace. So, that was a big announcement. They've selected Algorand blockchain in order to help them accomplish this and move into the digital collectibles marketplace. And so, we've been hearing a lot of these new music NFT markets have been choosing Algorand lately. So it's looking like a trend. Their carbon footprint is supposed to be a little bit better than some of the other NFT platforms. So, I'm really, really excited to see what's going to come forth with this. It almost seems like somebody's launching a new NFT platform just about every day. But, LimeWire kind of has the nostalgia working in their favor from those of us who remember the early 2000s era where you could do the peer-to-peer file sharing. So, they're kind of bringing it back. It was purchased by some Austrian entrepreneurs who have big plans. So I'm kind of excited to see what'll come forth from that.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
So, people are, groups and people they're trying to make things happen. So, like I say, hey, if you don't try, you'll never know. If you don't try, you'll never succeed. So at least give it a shot.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people are kind of skeptical about NFTs, which we'll kind of chat about that a little bit later in this episode. But anytime there's chances, to do stuff differently and to let artists actually reap the rewards of what they're doing and churning out to the world instead of having the middleman taking the biggest chunk out of it. So, that's really the big benefit of NFTs at this point. But, people are always kind of skeptical about something that's new. And, even though it's not necessarily new, but we're starting to hear more about it being involved with music. So, yeah, it's exciting to just kind of watch and observe and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. FTX Europe has partnered with Tomorrowland to build the future of Web3 and music festivals. So once again, we're talking about this whole metaverse thing. They've got big plans. So, this is supposed to be the start of a long-term initiative between these companies and their upcoming events. So, to make it available digitally. And we'll kind of see exactly what they're going to do with it. But their big plan is to make sure that they have concerts and other events in the metaverse and pay artists through cryptocurrency.
Now that's strong right there. That's strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, some things come and go, other things come and then they kind of hang around for a while and whatever, and there's always a time when somebody say, well, hey man, I missed out. Okay, so there's all kind of opportunities out there. Check your check, check it the way you want to check it, and it might be for you. And then there's always the people that say, well, hey, I wish I had. I wish I had. Okay, so the others have. That's that old song. Jody's got your girl and gone. So hey, Jody's gone with that. Okay, so. So you're waiting on the next wave to come in. So check it out.
Yeah. All right. And recorded music revenue has surpassed 15 billion for the first time ever, and this occurred last year. So all major formats of recorded music saw growth throughout the year, except for digital downloads. So the subscription-based music streaming was, of course, the leader of the revenue, and ad-supporting streaming and subscriptions grew 24% last year to total 12.4 billion. And so, of course, that accounted for 83% of the revenue, similar to where it was in 2020. So it looks like it's kind of holding steady there as far as the growth happening. But I thought it was kind of interesting that digital downloads was just boom. So, we kind of knew that was going to be the case as streaming became more popular, more people started adopting that. But, it's just kind of worldwide. Some of the trends can be a little bit different, but not in this case. So there you have it, 15 billion for the first time ever.
Well, like they say in some places, stuff be happening.
Yes. And, speaking about what's happening in the world, major music companies have decided to pause their business in Russia. So, multiple music businesses have announced that they were cutting ties. Live Nation stopped promoting concerts or conducting business. Spotify plans to shutter its Russian office indefinitely. The European Broadcasting Union has banned Russia from the Eurovision Song Contest this year. Of course, multiple artists have canceled concerts in the country. So, I'm talking people like Green Day, Russian rapper Oxy Myron who canceled 6 sold out concerts. So, people are kind of taking the stand, and we're seeing how this is kind of just creating some different issues going on. But despite how big Russia is, it's actually a small market for music, according to the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry. So Russia generated just under 200 million in recorded music revenues back in 2020. So it's the 16th most valuable territory in the world, right behind Mexico and Sweden. So yeah, just something to be aware of. It was kind of interesting because, we've got artists there that actually, need to be paid. So yeah, there's some different things going on, some different things to consider. But hey, people are taking a stand for what they believe in, and you got to respect that.
Well, they're about to the country's about to default on a whole bunch of loans. So, word to the wise: if the country's about to default on a whole bunch of important loans, and you're trying to delve over there, if you're an outsider and you're trying to delve over there, you better think twice.
Yeah. Matter of fact, music company Believe had issued a statement to their partners and artists and whatnot, and basically advising them. So the company was saying that they're going to continue their payments to people in Russia as long as they're not banking with somebody that has sanctions on them. So they're recommending, like, hey, if you're dealing with one of those banks that's been sanctioned, maybe you should try to sign up with another one and then connect it so we can still pay you. But yeah, it's some things happening, and we'll see what's going on and what will continue to happen.
Yeah, stay on top of current events, because there's a whole bunch of long lines, people trying to take their money out of ATMs and out of banks, and some of those banks' front doors are closed and everything. So check that out before you invest, because people are trying to get their money and they can't. Okay, so just check into that really, really deeply.
Yeah, for sure. And Downtown Music is planning on spending $200 million, but they're not actually planning on buying a song. So their aim is to make financing their portfolio services, to expand it and make it much better so artists can have more opportunities for distribution and to be able to actually put their music out. So, there'll be more information to follow on this once it becomes available. But yeah, it's sounding like it's going to be another way for artists to be able to get advances in order to, make their music and share it with the world.
How about that? How about that? Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a pause for the cause, and then we'll be right back with more music industry news after this.
Okay.
All right, and we're back with music industry news. Amazon One palm recognition technology has been blocked at an iconic music venue after artists, started to protest it. So some of them got together and actually penned an open letter. And to quote, "For many of us, concerts and live events are some of the most memorable and enjoyable experiences of our lives. The spread of biometric surveillance tools like palm scans and facial recognition now threatens to destroy that, transforming these spaces into hotspots for ICE raids, false arrests, police harassment, and stolen identities." So, I mean, yeah, all those are definitely things to be concerned about. And so, the artists are actually calling for other artists across the country and other places that are considering using this palm recognition technology to just, shut it down, keep it out of the music industry and events so people can actually just enjoy themselves without having to worry about all these other things happening. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, inspect what you expect. Inspect what you expect, because all kind of things, good and not so good, be happening. So just look on the be optimistic, look on the good side, and try to make something good happen that fits you and your personality and what you're trying to do. And hey, if you don't try, you'll never succeed. So that's one out there
for sure. And so, yeah, just something to be aware of as a lot of these live events are returning. This might be something that may be more commonplace unless more artists start to speak out about it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
All right. And as promised, I told you we'd be chatting about this a little bit later. But a lot of Death Row's iconic albums and releases have been pulled from streaming services. And so it appears that Snoop Dogg is gearing up for the whole Death Row Records new era as becoming a NFT label, as he had promised. So, he had announced his plans. So this could be a part of that. There's a chance that maybe he's working out different deals with some of the artists. It could be a licensing thing. We don't really know. But yeah, once some people had recognized this, people weren't very happy about it. You could see all types of complaints or whatever on Twitter, like, oh, this NFT stuff just needs to go away. I want to listen to my music. And yeah, so a lot of people didn't necessarily react the way that you would expect, with him trying to do something groundbreaking. But yeah, we have to kind of wait and see exactly what was going on. But yeah, I suspect it definitely has something to do with what he's working on as far as making it an NFT platform, which makes sense because it's the best way to make sure that the artists are actually taken care of in this current landscape. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And shout out to Snoop Dogg. He's been making a lot of moves. He's been coming up in all these news stories. I feel like we've been talking about him almost weekly for like a month now. And yeah, shout out to him for the moves he's making. And, even though it'd be great to have those albums back on streaming platforms, I'm gonna ride with him. I'm gonna trust he knows what he's doing, and we got some good stuff coming.
Well, from my perspective, I think it's a good thing because, and only because, I'm just enamored with the fact that it's an artist making the moves instead of a business conglomeration from outside that are not artists, which we see all the time. Okay, so we got an actual artist that's making the moves and pulling the strings and getting the seeking advice and so on and so forth. So to me, that's really royal. To have an artist at the wheel. Okay, so many of these scenarios, the person at the wheel, hey, can they play a piano? No. Can they play a guitar? No. Can they sing? No. Can they compose music? No. And see, so you got all these folks coming in that, at the end of the day, they're not an artist. Okay, so give it a shout since he's an artist, and hopefully that'll be a trend for more artists trying to, making the steps to take the wheel of control with something. And, so my hat's off to it.
Yeah, well said. Very well said. All right, Sony Music has bought a minority stake in Walter Combs' specialist Latin music label WK Records. So their investment right now actually kind of symbolizes an expansion of the relationship that they've already had with Colm and his companies since its 50% acquisition of WK Entertainment back in 2019. But in this particular case, majority ownership will stay with Walter Colm with this new partnership with Sony. So yeah, once again, we've got all these mergers, acquisitions, and all this stuff going on. But yeah, people are really betting big on these catalogs and companies right now.
Yeah, and that's good. So I'm still lagging behind on the last segment there because see, when you get down to it, would you like to have a tennis coach that's never played tennis? Would you like to have a golf coach that's never played golf? And so on and so forth. So when you got somebody in the music business that's an actual artist, I digress, but hey, that's a green light. That's a green light. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, not at all. It definitely needed to be said. It's a great thing. And yeah. And so once again, DMC is back at it, doing groundbreaking things. I feel like we've been talking about him a lot lately too. But yeah, he's teamed up with The Song That Owns Itself to launch a new track that's co-owned with fans. So The Song That Owns Itself is a smart contract that basically splits the profit sharing for each song to make sure that the creators and fans are both kind of taken care of. So at its heart, it allows creators to take back control of their works while rewarding all parties involved in its continued success. So, that's a pretty groundbreaking thing, and it creates an experience for fans, which is something that a lot of people are actually looking forward to, because once streaming was introduced, although it was, a much better thing for the artists than piracy was, or like the peer-to-peer file sharing sites. But, it kind of lacked the feeling of having, that physical copy in your hand, whether it be CD, cassette, vinyl record, whatever. So, to be able to create experiences and generate or fan engagement and involvement, it's really a beautiful thing. So, they've worked with other artists, but this particular song is called Million Scars. So, definitely make sure you check it out and see what they're doing over there at The Song That Owns Itself.
Hey, some positivity. Keep it flowing.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of vinyl, Jack White has been urging major labels to open vinyl pressing plants. So he's not even worried about it hurting his business. It was at Third Man Records, I believe. But so yeah, it's just basically, hey, we need help. And so he's saying that it's a no-brainer for labels to go ahead and invest in the infrastructure to press more vinyl. So, there's things that are out there now that weren't decades ago. So it can be automated, and presses are easier to get now than they were before. So, it would keep some of these smaller shops from being backlogged, from trying to take care of major artists and independent artists at the same time. So, when these labels are actually pushing these huge releases, if they just pressed it themselves, it would be a great big help, and it wouldn't be such a lag for all of us who are trying to support independent artistry.
Good deal. Flow.
Yeah. And once again, talking about mergers and acquisitions, Beyond Music, which is basically what they're calling the Korean version of Hypnosis. They're trying their best to go ahead and take over the global music IP market. And so, they've been focusing on IP, which is intellectual property, aggregation. And so, now they're just taking it over and they're just buying up stuff. So, I feel like we're going to start to hear about Beyond Music just as much as we hear about Hypnosis. But it's a huge market. So the music catalog gold rush. All right, and DJ Ski joins TSX Entertainment as Chief Metaverse Officer. So this was a newly created position based off of what they're planning to do. So TSX Entertainment is an entertainment and technology platform. And so, yeah, they decided to choose this DJ, radio host, and pioneer in the NFT realm as their new Chief Metaverse Officer. So, you know, that just kind of symbolizes how important these companies are betting on this to be and what we can expect. So, yeah, they're doing their best to make sure that they're creating what they're calling experiences beyond imagination. So, yeah, we'll see what comes forth from that. And, yeah, lots of metaverse talk in these last few months. And it looks like a lot of people are banking on it being the future.
Wonders never cease. I mean, you know, there's a lot of energy being put into a lot of this stuff, and you know, there's an opportunity for everybody, and plus there is a slice of the pie for everybody. It's should you choose to slice it. So,
right.
Yep, that's a big pie. Okay, so try to get a little slice of something, you know, and dig on in.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna take another quick pause for the cause, and we'll be back before we head out for the night.
Okay.
All right, and that does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we truly appreciate you for tuning in and rocking with us. We appreciate you sharing with us how this is helping you or how you're enjoying it. And yeah, we really, really thank you. We do it for you. And so we'd love to hear back from you. And yeah, it's exciting, and it makes me very, very glad every time this time of week rolls around that we get to hang out with you.
That's right. If you've got any suggestions, if you are an up-and-coming artist or an experienced artist, either way, that has published music, give us a shout. And if you're interested in becoming a part of this show as far as doing an interview with us, hit us up either on IG at Achickwitbeatz or on IG at Breezy Gipson, and that's with a GIPSON. And let's establish some communications and see where that leads, and you never know what that will manifest in.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.